What if you break into a house to steal a getaway car? Everything goes smoothly, and then suddenly, you spot a girl bound in chains. Just as you're about to release her, the owners arrive. Now, the realization starts to creep in, that you might not be the only villains in this story.
Bad boy!
Welcome to What a Story. The story kicks off with the introduction of a couple deeply in love, Mickey and Jules. Their journey turns unexpectedly as they decide to hold up a gas station, donning masks resembling animals. With the cash drawer successfully looted, they hastily exit the premises and escape in their vehicle. As they speed away, Mickey and Jules revel in their daring exploit, commemorating it as their final robbery before relocating to Florida. During their journey, Jules proposes a brief stop for a romantic encounter, yet Mickey asserts the importance of putting more distance between themselves and the gas station. Nevertheless, as they traverse a wooded area, their vehicle stops due to running out of fuel, leading to Mickey's anxiety.
Fuck!
To soothe their nerves, they momentarily exit the car and recline on the road. Shortly after, Jules notices a mailbox, leading them to discover a secluded residence. Unable to successfully unlock the front door with a pin, Jules decides to forcefully enter by breaking it down. Upon gaining access to the house, the pair cautiously progresses indoors, ensuring no occupants are present. Confirming the absence of anyone, they separate to hunt for the garage keys. Shortly after, Mickey comes across a camera, inadvertently activating it and revealing two individuals bound to a pillar. Simultaneously, Jules is depicted lounging on the sofa, enjoying a freshly made snack. Struggling to locate the garage keys, the pair decided to consume a line of cocaine each to sharpen their cognitive abilities. Eventually, Mickey devises a strategy to transfer fuel from another vehicle, necessitating a gas can. Despite a thorough search, they come up empty-handed. They run to the basement to look for a hose. But they discover a little girl chained to the floor. Jules wants to help her, but Mickey thinks it's a bad idea. However, Jules empathizes with the girl and is reluctant to abandon her. They ascend the stairs to determine a way to free the girl by severing the chains. The two run back up to the kitchen and are found by the homeowners, George and Gloria. The couple offers money and jewelry to avert violence, yet Jules remains resolute in uncovering the reasons behind the girl's captivity. George clarifies that the girl, Sweetie Pie, has been misbehaving, and the restraints serve as a form of discipline. In response, Mickey brandishes his firearm, but George diffuses the tension, persuading them to sit and talk. Eventually, the couple yields and guides the criminals back downstairs. George releases Sweetie Pie from her restraints, yet as Mickey endeavors to take her along,
"Come with us, we'll have a great time together, I promise."
She resists, and bites his wrist, prompting George to use a headbutt to incapacitate Mickey. Mickey awakens, finding himself bound to a bed. Gloria attempts to seduce him, although her approach becomes unsettling as she exaggerates a maternal fetish.
You're a bad boy!
She also exhibits pictures of a supposed son named Ethan, who she claims to be hers. Meanwhile, Jules is confined in the basement, secured to a supporting pillar. Despite her efforts to engage Sweetie Pie in conversation, she receives no response. Jules confides in the girl, revealing that her parents abandoned her during childhood. Mickey seemingly succumbs to Gloria's attempts to seduce him. However, as he requests physical contact, Gloria releases his restraints, allowing him a chance to push her away. Mickey takes advantage of this moment to dash toward the exit, but his escape is halted by George, who brandishes his firearm.
I like it.
What the fuck?
Under threat, George compels Mickey to proceed to the basement and be restrained alongside Jules. Mickey and Jules strategize their getaway. Recalling her tongue stud, Mickey suggests removing it to use as a makeshift lockpick. Although hesitant due to the potential pain, Jules agrees with Mickey's assistance. After successfully removing her handcuffs, Mickey attempts to free himself,
Get mine. Get mine.
But the stud snaps within the lock.
Okay, it's okay. Hey, come here.
Reacting swiftly, Jules dashes off to find an alternative solution to aid Mickey. George comes down and sees that Jules is gone, and he threatens to cut Mickey's ear off to get him to talk. He quickly says that Jules went somewhere to meet Mickey, and if he isn't there at a certain time, the cops will come. Convinced by this tale, George releases Mickey from his restraints, planning to take him outside. As they head for the front door with Mickey at gunpoint, Jules thought that George is about to kill Mickey, so she emerges with the baby, who is just a porcelain doll that Gloria has a deep attachment.
Down!
Jules threatens to drop Ethan unless George lets Mickey go. Gloria instead grabs George's gun and shoots at Jules, but she misses and causes her to drop Ethan, and his head shatters. Gloria tearfully tries to piece the doll back together. George keeps Mickey and Jules hostage. George and Gloria secure Mickey and Jules to chairs, arranging them at the dinner table where Gloria is preparing a shepherd's pie. While sharing the meal, Mickey and Jules inquire about the backstory involving Sweetie Pie. George clarifies that Sweetie Pie was abducted due to Gloria's inability to conceive, leading her to see Sweetie Pie as a solution. However, she ultimately couldn't accept Sweetie Pie as her own child, prompting her to instruct George to eliminate her. George justifies the captive state in the basement as a sort of mercy. Gradually, Mickey and Jules begin to experience a sense of lightheadedness. At this point, George reveals that they've been administered an excessive dosage of pills, intended to render them unconscious. His sinister plan involves overdosing them with heroin, orchestrating their demise to appear as if they were two intruding addicts who succumbed to an overdose. The scheme hits a snag when a police officer arrives at the doorstep, due to the discovery of Mickey and Jules' deserted vehicle, close to the location of the gas station heist. George attempts to calm the officer by assuring that all is well, yet the officer grows doubtful upon noticing the damaged door. Despite his reluctance, George permits the officer's entry. Meanwhile, Gloria has concealed Mickey and Jules in their gym to shield them from law enforcement. The officer proceeds to descend into the basement. George readies himself to shoot the officer before he stumbles upon Sweetie Pie, but his fellow officers abruptly summon him back outside. Jules manages to wake up and get cocaine for herself and Mickey, to get them back on their feet. They trick George and Gloria into thinking they ran away, and they emerge after the older couple heads out to find them. While walking in the woods, Gloria says she has had enough of George insulting her out of frustrations, and she admits she would rather forget about Mickey and Jules and carry on with their lives, by going on a trip. Meanwhile, Mickey and Jules prepare to take George and Gloria's car, but they agree to free Sweetie Pie. Sweetie Pie agrees to go with them, only after Mickey apologizes for yelling at her after she bit him.
Come on.
The couple reaches the garage but can't locate the remote for the garage door. Upon returning home, George and Gloria realize their keys are missing, along with Sweetie Pie. George heads the garage door opening, and he makes it to the front before Mickey and Jules can get away. He brandishes his firearm, demanding they exit the car.
Ready for a whooping.
In a poignant moment, Mickey confesses his love for Jules before accelerating and striking George. Tragically, Mickey sustains a gunshot wound to the chest. He shares a brief final exchange with Jules before passing away. Overwhelmed by grief, Jules weeps beside Mickey's lifeless body. A disfigured George emerges, attempting to strangle Jules. His violent advance is thwarted when Sweetie Pie emerges from the car, seizing the gun. Despite his attempts to manipulate Sweetie Pie into relinquishing the weapon, she defies him by shooting him in the head. Gloria emerges with luggage, seemingly delusional and attempting to wake George. Jules finds herself unable to harm Gloria. Sweetie Pie eventually speaks up, expressing willingness to accompany Jules. The two women journey on foot until a compassionate stranger offers them a ride, transporting them to Florida. Thank you for watching, and see you on the next story.